Hello, this is Mindy.
Hi, this is Shravya. Sorry, I thought our call was on the Google Meet, so I was on the Google Meet.
Sure. No, this one we just do over the phone.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I'm glad I was able to catch you. Sorry for the delay.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Yeah, so this is my first call where I think it was planned for just you and I, so I didn't know how you'd like to structure it.
Sure. Normally I know I've gotten to know you a little bit, but normally I like to just get like a, brief overview of what you're doing and any particular questions you have. If not, I'm sure I can, dig in and find some things to talk about. So.
Okay. Yeah, where we left off last time, you'd helped me on constructing initial communication with a children's vendor that had reached out to you guys from India.
Mm-hmm.
So with your help and Carrie's help, I went ahead and emailed them about 4 or 5 days ago, and I haven't heard back. So I'm guessing they're either not interested or they don't provide the type of product that I'd want to create.
Okay. Okay.
I specified that it'd be children's knitwear and stuff.
Okay.
So I've started making a list of other vendors that I found just through Google searching, and I've started to send out like that same email.
Okay.
And the email content is just like a light introduction of me. I'm working on, I need printed jersey knit cotton, some general questions about minimum orders and things like that.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at right now. And I had initially held off on getting a technical designer or looking into making a tech pack because we were considering that Indian vendor might be able to provide all of that.
Right.
So do you suggest now, like, if I should go in a different direction, get that made separately, or still keep looking for, like, a fabric sourcer that could potentially do everything?
Yeah, I would say keep doing your emails to try and find the right factory, but I would also be looking for a tech designer.
Okay.
Because the odds that the factory's gonna want a tech pack are really, really, really high.
Okay.
I thought, since you were already had a contact, it'd be good to ask them first. But it's probably a 90% chance they're going to need a tech pack first.
Okay, so I'll just move forward with some of the resources that you guys provide, and
Yeah.
I'll get that made. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I have 4 styles I've narrowed it down to.
Okay, great.
And 2 of them are in jersey cotton knit. You had identified that over a video call.
Yeah.
And 2 of them are in ribbed knit cotton.
Okay.
So I decided to make it easier on myself to go with the jersey knit for all of them.
Okay.
But so if I were to provide the reference garment for getting the tech pack created, could I just send them the ribbed knit version if I want it to be jersey knit? Or would that not work?
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about that for a little bit. Because this gets a little more complicated. Are you doing children's sleepwear?
Out of the 4 styles, one of them is pajamas.
Okay. And that was the one that was probably rib?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're doing sleepwear and you're categorizing it as sleepwear, then you have a few things that you have to think about. You have to follow the children or the Consumer Protection Agency child certification laws. There's a lot of stringent laws around the fit of children's pajamas and what they're made out of.
Okay. Do you mind repeating?
Yes. And I might be saying the words not perfectly right, but if you Google Consumer Protection Agency children's sleepwear,
Okay.
you'll get to the right place.
Okay.
I might be saying the agency might be called like something a little different than what I just said, but that definitely.
Consumer Product Safety Commission?
Yeah, there you go. Consumer Product Safety Commission. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Oh, is this the yellow tag that comes with children's clothes that says it's like flammability tested and stuff?
Correct. Yep. And then for sleepwear, actually, there's also more rules around it where it has to be. I don't want to tell you this is a complete list, but part of the list is, flammability testing. And then the other part is it has to fit really tight because if there's air against the fabric and body, that allows it to be more flammable, right?
Right.
So, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because if you are marketing it as sleepwear, you need to follow those rules. And then that is the reason why that sleepwear is rib, because it needs to fit so tight, it needs to be rib.
I see. Okay. Do you suggest I drop that style altogether and just work with 3 styles and keep this for a later time?
Yeah, I think I would do that, or replace it with something that I might call, comfy day wear. Like,
I see.
do you know what like you can't call it sleepwear.
Okay.
Unless you want to, follow those rules. But so I'd either drop it or, like I said, change it a little bit and make it just like a cozy day set. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Do you think 3 styles is too few to start with?
I don't think so, especially if you're going to have at least a few different prints. Because then, your assortment can look bigger.
Right.
So if you, let's say you had 3 prints and 3 styles, then all of a sudden your assortment is 9 different options, right? Are you there?
Yeah, sorry, I was just moving to a quieter spot. Yeah, that makes sense. I have a lot of different colors and prints in mind anyway, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then when you're building your website eventually, if you're selling online, I would just make sure to make your assortment look bigger, I would make sure you would be listing, your dress in print 1 as a different style than your dress in print 2 and your dress in print 3. So they don't show up as one dress with print options. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
So for my next steps, I'm gonna cut short on the pajamas for now. Get started on getting tech packs made.
Yep.
So when I was looking at the factory buffalo that's listed on as one of the resources.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of package options where I can get a lot of different services done by them.
Yes.
For the phase that I'm in right now, what do you recommend I get started with them on?
I would have to look at their packages. Let's see here. See if I can find their packages, but definitely, really all you need right now is a tech pack.
Okay.
But I'd have to look at their full package.
Yeah, that makes it easier for me to get started.
That's what you need right now to get started. And then once you identify a factory, we're going to find out a lot more about what else you need. Like, will that factory provide fabric or not? You know, will that factory provide pattern making or not?
Okay.
But like I said, I'm 90% sure the factory's not going to do the tech design. So you're safe to get that started. And then once you identify the factory, and then if it starts taking too long to identify the factory, then I would start to move forward with getting the other services done, because it's a lot easier to find a factory after you have that stuff done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, for my next steps, I'll start getting the tech pack made, as well as continue to reach out to factories. And then if the factories aren't able to give the support, then we can look at getting more of the work done.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's what I would do.
And then, okay, I had one more question about the 3 styles that I'll be working on. One is a dress, a baby onesie, and one is a boy shirt. So for the boy shirt, do you think jersey knit is fine?
Yeah, it depends on what it looks like.
Okay.
I mean, does it have, what is it, a t-shirt? Is it
It's a Henley shirt with 3 buttons.
Okay. Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay.
How young are you? Like, how young of sizes are you going to go to?
Yeah, so the hard part with this is that so the ages go from 2T to toddler up to 12 for this category. Before 2, it's in months, and that's like 5-6 sizes for that range. Like there's 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, 6 to 18 months.
Yep, and that's why I was asking how young you want to go.
I wanted to go as young as newborn, but I don't know if that's too many sizes for like just starting out.
Yeah, you're probably going to find that it is. Where do you think it would sell better, for babies or toddlers? I would urge you to pick one.
Okay.
So you don't, but again, I don't know your budget and everything, right? So if you have a really nice, healthy budget, then you could go the whole way. But just to be, if you're a little risk adverse and you have a tighter budget, I might pick which one I would think would do better, baby or toddler, and just do that for my first run, and then you could expand later.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll need to think about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll need to think about which one, if I had to go with one, which one would be better. And
then the other thing to, again, checking that consumer safety, you just said the word, I keep forgetting the name of the place. Things like buttons are a problem. Anything that a child can, like, it might detach from the garment and a child could swallow it.
Okay.
So that's why you never really see buttons on baby garments. So
okay, that makes sense. And yeah, I think the baby garments are also ripped for that same reason that you mentioned earlier, for being close to the body.
Yeah, and really the close to the body thing matters most when it's sleepwear, but anyway, I don't remember where the cutoff is age-wise, or size-wise, age-wise, for things like buttons and stuff like that. But doing a Henley would be totally fine, but you would have to use, most likely you'd have to use snaps instead, because those would be a lot harder to pull off. That's why onesies always have snaps or zippers.
Yeah. I'm in the example ones I'm seeing at like Bowdoin and Hannah Anderson. The Henleys have buttons, but they are for older kids. So I'm wondering if that's why that's okay.
Yep.
Like they're
Yep.
definitely for like 6-7-year-olds.
Exactly. And that's why I said I don't really remember the cutoff age, but I'm assuming it's somewhere around 2 to 3 years old. After that is when you can have buttons, or maybe even 4, but so that's something to consider too when you're picking your size range, is there's a lot more constraints and safety rules to follow when the younger they are.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I had this conversation with you. I need to go back to the drawing board a little bit, and maybe, like, if I choose to either just do baby or toddler, that leaves me with just like 2 styles in each category. So I'm gonna need to, like, I do want to have like at least 3 styles.
Right.
So I'll think of like another one to add on there.
Well, and like I said, I think the Henley could be fine. You would just have to use like snaps instead, and maybe you wouldn't like that look, but if you were okay with that look, you could do that.
Yeah, I'll think about it. I think just for this first round, it's easiest to do like the most simple design.
Yeah. Yep.
Then I don't have to worry about getting snaps and different trim and all of that for it.
Sure. Yep, that makes sense. Yeah, because really what you're selling here is the print.
Yeah.
And so you can just make that the showcase and keep everything really simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that then. Okay, so now my next steps are like finalizing if it's baby or toddler, making sure I have 3 styles in either one, then getting tech packs made while still reaching out to factories.
Yep, that sounds perfect.
Okay. Yeah, thanks I know it's a quick call, but I think that's everything. Thanks for taking the time.
No, that's great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll keep should I just send Carrie updates of what's happening?
Yep, for sure. And then I don't have my calendar in front of me, but I know you should have a meeting coming up with her in the next couple weeks, I imagine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to like do things. I luckily joined the cohort like right when the 20-week cycle reset.
Perfect.
So I'm trying to like speed things up so I'm like still on track, because it's easier to do that.
Yeah. And don't beat yourself up if you don't keep up with the lessons, because there's we're teaching things every it's kind of like 4 lessons per month, right? So it's like it's something every week, and it's pretty hard to keep up at a certain point. So don't beat yourself up if you can't.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for all the tips. I'm definitely looking forward to the next steps.
Okay. All right. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. You have a great day.
Thanks. You too.
Okay. Bye.